chicken wings. So there's nothing fancy about chicken wings. It's actually cheaper to buy them whole like this and cut them up yourself. If you go to the butcher or to the grocery store, you will see the ones that are already cut cost a little bit higher. The biggest thing, you got to find these joints. There's a joint here, there's a joint there. You just find that joint, clip it off. And I usually run flat against this flapper, and boom. I normally find a joint, but a lot of times I don't. But it's no biggie either way. Even if you don't find a joint, just pick a different spot and keep on carving. I'll do one more, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. Boom. Easy. All right, let me get the rest of these cut up. I'll be right back. All right, now that we got them all cut, I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just use it as a little bit of a binder. And when you're using that JoeTisserie with that basket, you have to hit the basket with a little more so they don't stick. They still stick, but just not as bad as if you didn't. All right, first seasoning is rub some chicken. That bottle was completely closed. I had to stop the video and open it. Now this rub some chicken is very, very flavorful, very savory, but it's not high in salt. So it's a perfect chicken seasoning. But with that being said, you get all those other flavors, so you want to add a little bit of salt. And it's actually impossible. I ain't gonna say impossible. It's hard to over salt something with rub some chicken. It's basically flavor. So for my salt, I got some cow cover in this thing here. I'm gonna hit it with a little dose of cow cover. And there's the salt. Make sure I got a good coverage. Call me crazy, but sometimes I actually smell meat when it's seasoned, and that sometimes lets me know if it's a good coverage. Like I said, call me crazy, but I did it for years, especially in, coming from owning a restaurant. You pick up on certain things that some people may not, but we'll call that nice and seasoned. I keep on moving this bowl. So we're gonna put these in the refrigerator. It is 12:30. So we're gonna put these in the refrigerator till about 3:30, and then we'll be ready to cook. So I will see y'all at the smoker, well, at the Kamado. Later. All right, so this is the basket. This rod came with the JoeTisserie, and they make aftermarket baskets. So all you do is you take this rod, you put it through here. And if you decide to get a JoeTisserie or some type of basket, you will quickly figure out that you should not tighten these things down all the way, because if they get caught, it's gonna lift up the JoeTisserie. So you get them, straight as possible, because if you don't have them straight, when it's rolling this way, it's gonna clip the side of that bracket. All right. So the wings have been marinating for a few hours in the seasoning. So, like I said, if you decide to get one, use my mistakes wisely. When I first started, I wasn't putting any type of oil on the wings, and that led to the wings actually sticking to the basket, and then sometimes it would rip the skin off. So the best thing that I found to do As soon as you get your wings in, douse them with some extra virgin olive oil. Douse them pretty heavy, and that way when they start tumbling, they will slowly coat themselves, and they'll still stick, but they won't stick as bad. So it's got a little lock here. You latch that on, push it down. So when it rolls, they will start to coat the basket and coat themselves. I give them a couple of spins, and then I actually hit the basket itself. Because you will find that if it sticks, it will rip off your skin. So I will check in when we get back to the grill. All right, this is the attachment, the JoeTisserie. It has this little box right here. It spins, so when you put the steak on there, whether you're using a spit for like a roast, or you can use a basket for wings, which is what I'm gonna do today. So I'm gonna get this thing fired up. Got some char logs in here. Get these going real quick. We're gonna do some wings. It shouldn't take like maybe 45 minutes. So I'm gonna basically let these char logs get a little hot. Let it come up to about 400, and then we'll put the wings on. Check in when we are at the wings. All right, so I went ahead and lit these char logs. So the way I run my Kamado is I go ahead and just get them fairly lit. Leave the lid open for 10 minutes. Let it kind of get a little hot, then I'll start stoking it down. So like I said, our target temperature is 400 degrees. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Everything's ashed over pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. Get this wheel. We'll start off with it wide open. Take it down to maybe a little over an inch down here. And just let it do its thing for about maybe 15 minutes and see where it settles. My plan is, once we're settled in at 400, for at least about 5 or 10 minutes, and we're gonna start getting these wings on later. All right, so it looks like we settled in at 400. So this is a little mechanism that spins the basket. If you notice, it's square in there, so I try to line this thing up as square as possible. Stop it right there, so that way when you put the spit in there, you lessen the chance of your knuckles being burned off. So I'm gonna try. I've never done this with one hand, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see. Yep, I'm about to burn my knuckles off. I know y'all probably can't even see what's going on. Oh, I did it. All right, so another thing with this, you have to make sure, like I was saying with these things here, make sure they're straight and make sure they're not super tight, because sometimes I back them off one turn, because sometimes they will clip this edge right here, and if they're kind of loose, they will go ahead and turn into position. So you just flip this switch, and boom, your wings are tumbling. Got a nice cold bed down there. I'm gonna give this 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we'll check on them and kind of see where they're at. And I want to do at least maybe 5 or 10 minutes with it wide open with the flames coming through. So I'll check in 30 minutes. All right, so it's been 30 minutes at 350. Look at that, the wings got some nice color. I'm gonna check the temperature of one of them. All right, it's at 170. Wings can go a little further. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this basket open for a while, and hopefully with the grease dripping, the flames will start to rise and we can get that skin super crispy. And so far, they are looking great. Yes, sir. All right, so I'm just gonna make some quick, like little home fries in the air fryer to go with these wings. They don't take no time at all. Just biggest thing is try to cut them close to the same size as possible. Hopefully this air fryer will get them pretty crispy, maybe like French fries almost. So this is a barbecue channel, so I'm not gonna waste too much time on these home fries. I'm just adding a tablespoon of olive oil. Since you know the air fryers, they don't require much oil. And we're going in with a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, ½ teaspoon onion powder, ¼ teaspoon smoked paprika, ½ teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and just a pinch of pepper. We're gonna stir this all up, make sure we can get them all coated, and depending on how they look, you may want to add just a tiny bit more olive oil, which I am, but you don't want to go too heavy because then you're gonna have the fire department over there eating your wings because they gotta put the fire out in your oven. So there you go, just add it a little more and see where it gets us. Just so you know, every one of the taters got a little sheen to them, so you know they coated with the oil. All right, so this is simple. So they're gonna go into air fryer at 370 for 10 minutes. Then they're going to come out, get stirred up, shaken up, and then going back into the air fryer for another 7 minutes at 400 degrees, and they should be nice and crispy. I'm gonna let these sit up for about 10-15 minutes to let this seasoning soak into them. All right, I'll see y'all back at the Kamado. All right, after about 10-15 minutes, we got a nice char on these wings, so they are ready to go. So I'm gonna get these things pulled, show you what they're looking like, and we about to eat. Oh my god. All right, these wings are done. Taters are done. This basket, you gotta pry it open, but you better use some gloves because this sucker is hot. Let's get these wings in here. There we go. See that nice char on there? My video stopped because my phone is dying, but here are those air fryer taters. So we about to get busy. Later.